Tatis is a beast. Let's step into the on deck circle.
You're listening to the DFS On Deck podcast, brought to you by LineStar App, the top-rated DFS tool set and #1 companion for DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo Daily Fantasy. Go LineStar Premium now at LineStarApp.com. Now, here are your hosts, fantasy baseball experts Joe Pisapia and KC Bubba.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? It's me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and welcome to On Deck right here on the LineStar app. It's me, it's KC Bubba, and it's you, and we're talking all things MLB DFS. And Bubba, it was a fun weekend. We had a little a scuffle there. Note to self, don't talk about Ramon Laureano's mama, no matter what happens out there. We saw a win from Jacob deGrom. We see Tatis just absolutely just rocking balls everywhere. And I don't know about you, man, but I am most excited about this, dude, because this feels like another superstar in the making, or maybe already in Major League Baseball. And watching him play this weekend, man, it was just straight up fun. There's no way about it. So what did you enjoy this weekend in baseball, my friend?
I'm with you. The Tatis thing's great. It's just so much fun watching him and his team. It's like the joy they have playing baseball, which is something we've missed for so long.
Those awesome unis. It's the awesome uni. Let's be honest. That's what it is.
The unis are pretty darn slick. So I've loved watching that. The A's are red hot. Olsen keeps hitting bombs. Like, there's a lot to like about baseball right now. If the Cardinals could just get their stuff together, we'd have a really fun time. But other than that, it's a good watching baseball. The Tigers and Pirates 17-13. What in the world is going on right now?
Madness, absolute madness. Yeah. And can Zach please just stay home? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, how dumb. Like, hey, I won a game. Let's go out and have some drinks with some friends. No. What don't you understand? And it's not like he's like you're from a major league family. Like, don't you respect the game and your teammates a little bit more than that? Like, what kind of privileged jerk are you that you could go out and do something as tone deaf as that in this day and age? Oh, it's just terrible. But on the good news, Spencer Howard did make his debut. Yes, he gave up some home runs to Acuna and Freeman, but then again, who doesn't? So it was just nice to see him get his feet wet. So don't worry too much about the I wouldn't say perfect or rocky first outing, whatever. It wasn't that bad. He made some mistakes, and it cost him. And that happens sometimes, especially in that Phillies ballpark. Max Fried continues to be awesome. As I said, coming into this year in the Black Book, he's the ace of the Atlanta Braves. Don't let anybody tell you different. Madison Bumgarner continues to struggle. Holy hat. Man, 0.935 ERA. The Diamondbacks are now 6-10. Forget it. Like, I don't want to say they're done, but Bubba, I feel like they're done.
They're done, and then Robbie Ray's worse. We're talking about him tonight. So their 1-2 punch is getting them 1-2 punched out of the league. So it's a real quick.
Oh, look at you spitting fire!
It's Monday morning, and I got it. Don't worry about it.
Lance Lynn is a beast too, though. By the way, 2-0, 1.16 ERA for him. That's one of these dudes that, like, I always had Lance Lynn shares, and after the injury, I was a little skeptical. And then, last year it was like, wow, this guy's been really good, and it's just carried over. So great for him, and being able to, go out there and beat Angels line has got Trout in it. By the way, that Joe Adele catching the home run, and then, or should I say, whatever, helping the home run. I don't know how you calls it, Jose Canseco-ish, but not with his head, but with his glove, and then bounced off. That was amazing. Brady Singer also very good, getting his first W. Congratulations, Brady Singer. Royals sweeping the Twins, the Pirates and Tigers scoring 20 runs. Like, what's going on here?
It was a fun weekend, Joe. It was fun. That's all I could say. We had that. We had sports everywhere. It was good. It was very good.
We did. You know what? I was gonna say it did feel kind of normal. Like, the baseball game's on. I watched a little of the PGA. The NBA was on. I actually watched some playoff hockey too. I was watching a little of the Vegas game, so it was good. It felt good to have all of that back, and it's gonna feel good to win some money. And I saw people, even without the shows, counting us lineups based on like theoretical things that we've been talking about. I love it, baby. I love it. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you're subscribing to the On Deck MLB DFS podcast at LineStar. We are everywhere that you listen to podcasts: iTunes, iHeart, iStitcher, iGoogle, we're everywhere. It's amazing how many places we are. And of course, make sure that you go and you pick up that LineStar app. Go to LineStarApp.com and upgrade to that premium product, because I'm telling you, the optimizer on there, the way that everything is laid out is so simple. It's so user friendly. And you know what, Bubba? I'm a pretty smart guy, but I get glossed over sometimes when there's too much information thrown at me in too many different ways. That's what I like about LineStar is it just lays it out there. It's very simple. You go through the player cards and it's almost feels like more like video game-ish. It's almost more like it's like MLB The Show meets DFS, and I love that about it. And it's just really easy to take in the information and make good decisions. And we're going to try to make some good decisions tonight. So, Bubba, are you ready to play some baseball?
Let's play some baseball.
All righty. So, if you're going to do the all-day slate on FanDuel, Nola at home against the Atlanta Braves, he's 9.6 against Sean Newcomb. Look, Nola was big-time strikeouts in his last outing. Is that something you want to include to do the all-day slate, or you want to let it go away and just kind of minimize the variance today?
More often than not, I'd run away from it, and I probably will, but I do want to mention the pitching's pretty garbage on this slate, and he's a good pivot from the awesome chalk we're about to talk about here pretty soon. So if you want to go in that regard in the GPP, sure. Otherwise, I just kind of avoid.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. Okay, the next thing here on the list is Dallas Keuchel. Taking on the smoking red-hot Detroit Tigers. Michael Fulmer on FanDuel is 5.8. Dallas Keuchel is 7.8. You know what? I like the offense in this one. Jose Abreu is just 3-1. Always a good return. Grandal's just 2.8. Encarnacion's down to 2.6. Robert, it's funny. They keep mucking with the lineup of who's at the top. Now it's Moncada and Jimenez. It was Robert for a little while. So Robert could be down in the 6th spot tonight. Just keep that in mind. Nomar Mazara at 2.5. So very, very affordable guys on this slate in terms of the White Sox. On the DraftKings side of things, clearly different. You talk about variance, right? The highest guy in this lineup is Jose Abreu at 5.2. In FanDuel, he is only 3.1, one of the lower of the guys in this lineup. So that's something to keep in mind. So change it up. If you're playing on different sites, you might want to go more with maybe Nomar Mazara and Robert at the bottom of this lineup. Take your shot that way if you want to get involved. But Bubba, do you have any love for the Tigers in this one too? Or is it just the White Sox? And if so, how do you approach it?
Well, I think it's pretty much just the White Sox for me. And it's on FanDuel, like you said, than DraftKings. Abreu at 5,200 is very difficult. On 31 is great because you got Fulmer and then Norris, the lefties, coming in after him. So it's a definite way to approach it. The Tigers are really cheap on DraftKings. Same with FanDuel, really cheap on DraftKings. Like Cron's 31, Miggy's 25. He's got 4 homers. If you need value, it's there. Keuchel, the thing with him is he limits hard contact. He actually struck out 8 his last time. The Tigers are striking out a ton versus left-handed pitching. I think Keuchel at 78 is a solid SP2 on DraftKings, or at least an SP2 in cash games because of his floor. Other than that, I'm not going to use him on FanDuel.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Okay, let's continue on. On DraftKings, the Mets and Nationals. Steven Matz is 7.3. Patrick Corbin, 10.4. Obviously, he's worthy of that salary. 10.8 on FanDuel. 7.3 for Matz on FanDuel. Juan Soto is 4.1 against the lefty, but on DK, he's 5K. So you got to pay up pretty much wherever you go for Juan Soto tonight, my boy. JD Davis swinging a good bat at 2.6, and Jeff McNeil 2.6 on FanDuel as well. I'll tell you what, who also looked good this weekend was Andres Jimenez, scrappy little player. I don't know if he's going to be in the lineup, but if he is in the lineup, I know it's Corbin, but just keep an eye on it. When that kid is like taking over in a day game after a night game, he's got a little bit of speed. He plays the game real hard. He's been playing in lieu of Cano being out. And I don't know, man. Keep an eye on that kid. He's scrappy. I like him. I liked him as a minor leaguer, too, so it's nice to see him getting a chance. I like him as a baseball player more than Ahmed Rosario, but that's a podcast for another time. So are you going into the righties in this lineup tonight, Bub, like the Trey Turners, Howie Kendricks at 2.5 against Matz, or are you just going to go to Corbin? How do you approach this tonight?
Well, Corbin for sure. He's the chalk guy. I mentioned on FanDuel, if you want to pivot Nola, you could go there. That's the pivot off of Corbin. On DraftKings, you don't have that luxury. DraftKings goes from Corbin to Manaya at 88. That's the difference in pitching on DraftKings. So Corbin's a play I'm just going to live and die with most likely for that matchup. And then if you're looking at the bats for the Nationals, Castro at 26, Kendrick at 25 on FanDuel. I like both of them. I like the Jimenez call, 21 on FanDuel, 24 on DraftKings. Just not sure if he's going to be in the lineup versus the lefty, but the righties with, like, if you go Castro, Soto, Kendrick, it's affordable, nice little right, left, right, and you could have some fun with that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that up a lot. And I would pay up for Corbin tonight. I mean, I just, the dude just doesn't get enough credit. I mean, it's clearly they're giving him credit salary-wise. And we're talking about, guys like Howie Kendrick so far, 2.5, Castro at 2.6. Already there's some guys in the 2s that we just mentioned, even Jose Abreu with just 3.1. you can make Corbin work very easily tonight. And it might be one of those nights also, like we talk about, of throw that big time cash game pitcher in a tournament lineup and see what happens, because Corbin's that kind of guy that can go out there and have a special one. We all know that, especially against the Mets offense that is inconsistent. I don't care what they did against the Marlins yesterday. It's the Mets offense. It's, and it's Patrick Corbin. Moving on here. The Red Sox is still TBA as of right now, recording it, I think, unless you've got more information than I do right now.
All I'm seeing is like an opener Colton Brewer, and then who knows what after that. So just pray. Yeah.
So Yarborough, Colton, who knows? Anyway, forget the pitching in this one. Let's talk about the offense. We've got obviously Austin Meadows back in that lineup last week. He came back. He's at 3.4 over on DK. Bro, 5.5. The love affair continues with Austin Meadows on DraftKings. 5.5? Yikes. I mean, I like Austin Meadows as much as the next person, but like right now, 5.5 better be Tatis and Judge. That to me is that elite tier. Austin Meadows is not there. I don't know what the matchup is.
Nope. He's not there at all. That's it's quite the surprising one there. I'd rather take some other savings in that Tampa Bay line. Like Tsutsugo's 26 on FanDuel, 33 on DraftKings. Give me that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that makes so much more sense.
Boston pitching is going to be so bad tonight. The Rays can be a nice kind of pivot off the norm tonight.
And on FanDuel, they're a nice one. I mean, look, Tsutsugo, another guy, 2.6 on FanDuel. So another decent pivot there. Renfroe, 2.8, more of a tournament play, obviously, with the power. And on the flip side, it's kind of the same guys. They're in that lower salary range. You know the business by now. But yeah, like Bubba was saying, I think you got to fade away from Meadows on DraftKings tonight. On FanDuel, though, I mean, it's something to take note of. He's only 3.4. If the DraftKings algorithm likes him that much, man, you better take the discount on FanDuel, at least in one lineup, and see what you get out of it. Randy Dobnak against Adrian Hauser. Okay, now we're starting to get into some of these other guys. So the Twins are hitting a little bit of a slump, which is, I mean, that's normal. This is baseball. You can win 10 games in a row. You're not going to win 25. It's just not the way baseball works. But Hauser was good in his last outing, and Hauser's a pitcher we both like. Is Hauser at 8.4 on DK and 8K on FanDuel the prototypical, contrarian play tonight in tournaments? And is it a good one?
He is one of the two tournament plays I'm looking at. If you want to be very different, is it a good one? That's a great question against Minnesota, but I think it's a good one if you're willing to take that risk, even in a single entry. I think he's got that upside that you're looking for. Like you said, Minnesota struggling a bit ever since Donaldson went out of that lineup for some reason. It got really, really murky there. So I think he's a strong GPP play. Just you got to know going into it, Minnesota at any given time could just go off.
I'm going to take the opposite approach. Bubba and I don't often disagree. I'm going to stay away from it unless it's a multi-entry and you're getting this one guy and another guy we're going to talk about a little later in the program, because I feel like it is Minnesota. And at any point in given time, it's like yesterday's yesterday, today's a new day in baseball, and this is a lineup that can wake up and hit, 5 home runs in one game. And that is something to behold and to keep in mind. So, and also that Milwaukee ballpark. It's good to see, by the way, Christian Yelich starting to heat up as well. So
absolute bomb yesterday.
Bomb yesterday. So much for the Christian Yelich's, gone forever narrative that people were trying to write. God, it's so funny to me. The hot take and over. Oh my God. We talked about it on the shows this week too, on Sports Grid. I was like, guys, somebody actually asked me the question, like, is it time to move on from it? I'm like, no, give him another week. Let's give him another week and see what's going on and make sure it's not an injury or something else. I said, baseball's a tough game. People struggle mentally sometimes too, especially if they start to struggle. It starts to seep in mentally, and Yelich is 4.2 on FanDuel. He's, I think, at the 5s. Yeah, 5.3 on DK tonight. So clearly there's enough to go around. I'll tell you, Keston Hiura continues to swing a hot bat though too. He is 3.2. He's the best investment still if you want to just cherry pick one guy. Dobnak is not a big strikeout guy, but he so far has been successful in being Randy Dobnak. I don't know how long that lasts, but Keston Hiura to me is a one-off. Also, Justin Smoke at 2.4 might be another one of those cheaper guys. He's swinging a hot bat as well, Bub.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a play. And on the Twins side, if you need some savings, Marwin Gonzalez is slowly starting to put like some cash game stability with some upside. Byron Buxton is swinging it really well also at 2.7, so get him while he's healthy. And then I know Kepler's more expensive at 37 on FanDuel. I believe he's 43 on DraftKings. He's just a stable cash game play for me right now. He's a double-digit machine night in and night out, just one game after another. So he's one I kind of just pencil in most nights.
This next one was bound to happen, and it's happening. It's Robbie Ray in Colorado. Oh, Bubba. Yeah. Oh, Bubba.
T's and P's.
I feel like, woo! I feel a Ric Flair coming on. I mean, woo! This Robbie Ray in Colorado. So many runs, Bubba. So many runs they're going to give up. Charlie Blackmon's going to go yard. No Arenado's going to yard. Trevor Story, everybody's going yard tonight. Forget it. It's gonna be a hot mess. And Matt Kemp is just 3-3. He might be the best of all of them on FanDuel. Look at some of the prices on DK. 6-1 for Trevor Story, 6-3 for Nolan Arenado. It's madness. Like, you have to go with Hauser and like some really cheap pitcher even to make it work tonight. Oh, goodness gracious. I mean, it's chalk, but who cares? Give me the Rockies and just figure it out, guys. Just figure it out. Just figure it out. If it's wrong,
that's pretty.
I'll go down with this shit, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I said with someone earlier. I said, I usually don't like the chalk Coors, but my goodness. Like, this is just so hard to, if it doesn't work, so be it. But you mentioned Kemp's cheap. Garrett Hampson's started 4 straight games. He's 3,000 on FanDuel, 43 on DK. That could get you some savings. Look at kind of angles like that to differentiate a little bit. But Blackmon's hitting 485. He's hitting lefties, righties. It doesn't matter. Story, Arenado, great plays. The interesting part to this, and I mentioned, if you want a game stack, you can go a 3-man Rockies, but go 4-man D-backs to be different because they're super cheap on DraftKings. Peralta 39, Escobar 37. So you could get some of those guys against John Gray. You'll be different in that respect and still get the big boppers of Colorado and be a little unique still.
Yeah, enough said. Look, just make it work. Make it work. We just told you ways to make it work. Just make it work. And if it's wrong, that's fine. Like, it doesn't.
Yes.
Just because something doesn't work out doesn't mean it's not the right call. And you know what? Inevitably, yes, right and wrong does matter. But you have to make the most informed decisions, and you have to be. And you can't worry about the field. You can't worry about what the roster percentage is. Any of that stuff. You got to worry about scoring points, because if this game does go off like it could, if you don't have it, you're just done, no matter how good everything else is. Rangers and Mariners, I got no love for the pitchers here tonight. I'm not going to waste people's time. The only thing I'll say about this one, Solak is just 2.8, and that's another one of those cheaper dudes. But the pricing here for me on the DK side, none of this is worth the investment. Not tonight when there's Colorado. Anything else for you on this one? Because I don't want to waste everyone's time on this.
No, Todd Frazier is swinging it well if you need some value. Gibson, I can see appeal, but I'm not running to at these prices.
Yeah, Todd Frazier 2.7 on FanDuel, 4.1 on DK. What? Yep. What, bro? Yep. Anyway, Lance McCullers tries to rebound against the Giants. Last outing was not good. I do think he can rebound here, though. I do, and I think it's going to be a low ownership percentage because people are going to be off him from the last start. So this is another one of those. If you have the Adrian Hauser multi-entry, do one with Lance McCullers too. That's how you cover yourself, because it is the San Francisco Giants. Do you think anybody will do that tonight? You think it's going to be a low play? Because I do.
It should be a low play, but I'm just wondering if people people flock to see the Giants and go, I'm going to pitch whoever's facing the Giants. And I get it. I really do. So I wonder if in a perfect world, he'd be super low owned because of his last 2 performances. But I'm wondering if he gets a little bit more of a bump because this slate's so messy and he's facing the Giants.
Tournament play only here, definitely in that one. And look, same old. If you want Astros, you got to pay through the nose for them over on DK with the expected total potentially in Colorado. I would fade away from that. On the FanDuel side, Gurriel had to get a home run yesterday. He's at 2.8. He continues to be the cheap guy, is Gurriel in this lineup. So if you just want a piece of that offense, that's fine. But I just think there's better ways out there tonight. Garrett Richards against Dustin May. This is my favorite tournament arm of the night. 7.5 Dustin May on FanDuel, 7.7 on DK. Ownership will be through the roof. Don't care. It's how you get the cores in. It's pretty simple. I wouldn't overthink this tonight. Dustin May is filthy. He looks like he's gaining confidence. And as good as that Padre, as good as Tatis has been, and at times we've seen Will Myers swing the bat. We've seen Tommy Pham and Machado and Grisham. All these guys have been good. Momentum's only as good as the next day's starting pitcher. And Dustin May right now, I think, is one of these guys who is starting to kind of make his presence felt and realize that this might be a guy you can't take out of the rotation at some point. You just can't do it. You just have to leave him in there.
Yep, I'm with you. Dustin May was a guy I targeted in season long out the gate because I love what he has. And
me too. I got him everywhere.
Yeah, he's starting to finally show it. And people are like, who is this guy? I'm like, you guys just haven't been paying attention. Like, he's legit a top prospect pitching arm for a reason. He just faced these guys last week and dominated them. He's up to about 90 pitches now, so the leash should almost be off. So you're getting a discount. We were getting the discount early because he wasn't going deep in games. Now he is, as long as the control's there. I love it. The price tag has not met his his talent level yet.
No, 100% agreed on that one. And look, there's slight concern because the Padres have been good.
Yep.
And the Padres have been competitive. Me too. But again, you give this kid a home start here in LA. Not that there's a crowd, but it doesn't matter. Just a good pitcher-friendly environment. It's more about the ballpark I'm talking about than anything. They did a little comparison on MLB Network on Dustin May too, which I thought was fascinating about the movement on his fastball, and compared it to Roy Halladay, and they did some of the side by sides, and it has this like late movement on it too, and it's funny, it was kind of very very astute observation there, and if this kid can harness anything close to what Halladay had back in the day, we're in for something here, and the Dodgers are in for a long run.
All I want to say is people should go look at Pitching Ninja on May's last start on Twitter. He threw a two-seam fastball down the middle that almost hit the guy in his fingers. Like, it moved that much. It was ridiculous.
It's crazy stuff, man. All right, last game of the night, Sean Manaya against Julio Tehran. Manaya has not been good. Tehran still working his way back. Neither of these guys is exciting, so here you go. Matt Olson 4-7 on DK. Just keep playing it. Matt Chapman at 4.9. The Mats. We'll see what goes on with Laureano and Simeon. I don't know if there's going to be a suspension or something. I imagine there's going to be, right? Like,
yeah, they'll probably appeal it though, so they'll probably play tonight.
He'll probably play tonight. Just keep an eye. Like, he might also just say, you know what, screw it, let's just sit out tonight. I don't know. We'll find out. Over on FanDuel, Olson 3.5, Chapman 3.4. You see it every show we talk about it. The late slate guys, especially Oakland, is always just priced very friendly. 3.5 for Laureano, 2.7 for Marcus Simeon. Come on, 2.7. Get in there now. Just do it. Just buy in. The guy was amazing last year. I know it hasn't start off house on fire. Don't care. 2.7 is worth a shot. Once again, another lineup builder. So if you go with Corbin, there's so many guys in that 2.5 to 3 range that you can just get in there. Very responsible. You might not be able to stack a game, but you can definitely get some quality one-off bats to make Corbin work and just go ahead and win cash stuff. And if not, it's Dustin May for me and Bubba and that Rockies game, and just go at both sides of it and just make it your own, as they would say. I mean, that to me is the slate tonight. That's what it looks like. Bubba, what are your thoughts here? Are you trying to get into the Hauser business too? Is there anything else out here that you want to, kind of flash for the people, McCullers or something else that's not on the board?
I think the Hauser and McCullers debate is going to be the fun one, like to see the GPP angle there. I think this Oakland-LA game right here, this could be your game stack to be real interesting on, late-night hammer type stuff, because Manaya is broken also. So you could have some fun with some righties in that lineup. Max Stassi, if you're on DraftKings, a nice cheap catcher. Robbie Grossman is super value on each site. He'll be getting some playing time. So I think that Oakland-LA game is a fun one to get some exposure to outside of Arizona, Colorado.
It's funny to me because we talking about, like Sean Manaya, and last year he finished so brilliantly, right? And everybody was buying back in. I wasn't, because it's such a small sample size. I've seen a bigger sample size of concern than the shorter sample size of good. So I'm just trying to figure it all out. And this is why, you approach stocks of players differently in DFS and season long, because the nice thing in DFS is you don't have to make that kind of commitment to a player, exactly. and if he does turn around, great. And if it was true, awesome. Then you can go and play there. And in the season long world, you can get stuck sometimes holding the bag. And I feel like Manaya, people are getting stuck right now. That's my take. I feel like everyone's just looking at stuck, and that sucks. I'll tell you what, I also think that as people get closer tonight, you're going to see a lot of panic, I think, with Hauser and McCullers. I think you're going to see people who put that lineup in and then redo it 5 times.
You're probably right. Probably correct.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of people with the cojones to really do it. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if you need to. I love Hauser. It's the Twins. I like McCullers' talent still. There's definite upside, but you have to know what kind of player you are. And we always talk about this on the show. If you have a big bankroll and you're playing stuff and you're good, then go out there and get some shares of these, because one of them very well might win a tournament tonight. But I'll tell you what, I'd much rather play it a little safer with Dustin May, get into that Rockies and Arizona game and play it that way, because Gray hasn't been great either. You made a very good point on that one as well. All right, it's that time again, boys and girls. It's time to call our shot. Bubba and I are going to pick one guy each to go yard. And if you're listening to this segment on the Twitter machine, make sure you retweet it and you get a chance to win some swag. You can also reply and give us your home run call and have some fun. Let's all watch the games together tonight and have a good time. So, Bubba, where are you going for your home run tonight? I got an idea, but I don't want to speak for you. So who's going yard?
I'm going to leave your usual suspect for you, and I'm going to go with the another chalk one also. I'm going to take Trevor Story indoors for Robbie Ray.
Nope, that's my guy too. I'm doing it too. We're going to ride or die together. This is the last. Nope, that was mine. It's Trevor Story for Bubba. It's Trevor Story for me. We rise together, we fall together, we die together. Yep. That's it. Because that was it was like just in bold letters for me. It was like Trevor Story before the show. That's my guy tonight against Robbie Ray. I don't want to overthink it. But so there you go. And the last time that two hosts on this show went on the same guy, it was last year's Freddie Freeman, who hit 3 home runs. In one game. So keep that in mind. When these things happen, sometimes it's a good thing. So we'll see what Ryan Humphries has to say about it. If he's on Trevor's story too, that'd be amazing. But look, sometimes it's easy. Do you want to give a secondary one just because, just for fun? We won't count this one, but just for fun, just for S's and G's.
I think if you want to stay in that game, Ketel Marte.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stay in this game with Matt Kemp because that's another guy. We're just staying in this game. We just want all the Rockies and Diamondbacks.
If you guys forgot about 10 minutes ago, just stack the Rockies D-backs game.
About 10 seconds ago. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
Oh, look. And if it's wrong, it's wrong. And if it's wrong, then I don't want to be right. All right.
I don't want to be right. Yep.
No, absolutely not. I want to remind everybody out there to follow us on Twitter at LineStar App, at LineStar MLB. You can follow Bubba at KC Bubba and me at Joe Pisapia 17. Also, go get that LineStar app and download it and make sure you're upgrading to that premium product. If you're playing DFS seriously the rest of the season, if you're going to play NFL, NBA, whatever you do, they've got it. Make sure you go out there and get the app right away and subscribe to the podcast. And if you enjoy the podcast, it takes 2 seconds. Go over and give us a little 5-star review. Rate and review. Bubba and Joe are hilarious. They're great. I win money. Life is good. Simple. Boom. There you go. I just wrote the review for you. We would definitely appreciate it. And keep the screenshots coming. Keep the banter coming. We love you all. We appreciate you all. And thanks for listening to the program. So that'll do it for me and Bubba. But the story of the game goes on. There's nothing left to do now except step out of the on-deck circle and into the batter's box and go yard, Trevor Story. See you next time, kids.
You've been listening to the DFS On Deck podcast, brought to you by LineStar. Hit subscribe, tell a friend, and stay tuned for the next episode from fantasy baseball experts Joe Pisapia and KC Bubba.